How can you tell if a woman has a boyfriend or not, so you can avoid getting rejected by her if you walk over and start talking to her? The thing is, if a woman is single and she looks at you and finds you attractive, then she will usually look at you and just look away and not give you anything. And there are many reasons for that, but one of them is a woman doesn't want to be inviting guys to come over and talk to her who don't really have any real interest in her and would potentially have sex with her once, twice, or for a few months or a few years if she showed a lot of interest and opened the situation up, right? Gave him the inviting look and the wink or the wave over. A guy may come over and think, yeah, I'd have sex with her. Why not? And he might have sex with her once or twice or for months or for years. Another reason is that women don't want to encourage guys who are not confident to come over and approach them. Women want a guy who's confident enough to walk over and talk to her regardless of the signals that she is giving. So when a woman is single, a huge sign of interest from her, in her mind, in her female mind, is that she looks at the guy and she may look away and then look at him again, look away and look at him again, or hold the eye contact for maybe 5 seconds. And from her perspective, that's huge, right? She's given him a huge opening. Yet the problem is sometimes a woman isn't single and she'll look at a guy like that anyway. For example, while almost all women who have a boyfriend or husband will not be giving signals of interest to guys and trying to get guys to come over and approach them, there are some women who, when in a relationship, will look at men like that. And it's not always because she wants to get with the guy. Sometimes she'll look at a man and she'll be smiling and, looking back at him and may even give him a submissive sort of smile. And she's just playing with the situation and making the guy continue to look at her and show interest so she feels good about herself, or because she just feels like doing that in the moment, or in some cases because she may actually want to cheat. Right, she's in a relationship with a guy that she's not attracted to or in love with, or she's the sort of woman who is not going to be loyal, right? When men are in relationships with women, sometimes they have a great woman and they cheat on her anyway, or sometimes they have a woman that they're not attracted to and they cheat on her, right? It goes both ways. So sometimes a woman will have a great man and he's treating her well and he's even attractive to her, but she's just not a trustworthy woman and he really shouldn't have got into a committed relationship with her in the first place, and she'll be flirting with other guys and opening up new opportunities for herself. But sometimes a woman is going to be in a relationship with a man who's not making her feel attracted, she's not in love, and therefore she's opening up opportunities and seeing what she can find. So that's one part of it, a woman simply looking at a man and maybe looking again, and as you can see, there's no 100% guaranteed way to know that that woman is single for sure. Likewise, even with the very obvious signal of a woman wearing an engagement ring, that seems like it's a definite, guaranteed situation where she has a fiance or she's married. But if you know a lot of women or you've spent time around a lot of women when they're single, you'll know that sometimes women wear engagement rings or rings that look like an engagement ring because they like the ring, they think it's pretty, or they want to irrationally show off to other random women, just strangers, and look like a woman who has a fiance. Or she just wants to wear the ring for some random reason, or she was engaged or was married, but she still wears the ring because she likes the ring, she thinks it looks pretty, and wants to continue to wear it. So, as you can see, even something like an engagement ring isn't a guaranteed way to know that a woman definitely has a fiance, a boyfriend, or a husband. And the thing is, guys would love to be able to have a definite secret sign that a woman already has a boyfriend, but if that was the case, then it would be widely known. Everyone would know about it, it would be this obvious thing, and no one would have to think about it anymore, but it's not something that people know. Instead, what you need to do is to go over and take the risk. You've got to risk it to get the biscuit. And you may walk over and talk to one woman, and that woman may be single, she may be a good, loyal woman, and you start dating her, you get into a relationship with her, and done. You might go out and talk to 5 women or 10 women and 3 of them have a boyfriend or 4 of them have a boyfriend. If you want to guarantee for sure that the women are going to be single when you talk to them, then go to a speed dating event because the women there are going to be single. But the problem is that some guys don't really like the quality of the women at those events in terms of physical attractiveness. Now, at a bar or club, the women won't all be beautiful and slender, but you will find much more beautiful women at bars and clubs compared to speed dating events, and the absolute majority of men there will never approach and talk to the women and will instead just look at them and hope that something happens. Now, in a bar or club, it's usually anywhere from 85 to 90% of the women in there are going to be single, but some women are going to be there because they're hanging out with their girlfriends, but they have a boyfriend back at home and they're not going to cheat on him. They're just hanging out with their girlfriends, or they've gone out for some function, it's a birthday or whatever. But for the rest of the women, they're single and they're looking, and that's why they're there. In almost all cases, they're not there for any other reason than to meet a guy. And if you ask them why they're there, they'll often say things like, "Oh, I just came out to dance," or "I'm just hanging out with my friends." But the reason why women go to bars and clubs is to meet a man, but they don't want to go around saying that and looking desperate or needy or too easy or something like that, right? They want to just say that they're there to hang out or to dance, and they hope that men are able to read between the lines and understand that, hey, they're there to meet a potential lover, boyfriend, or husband. And an important point to make here is that some guys have the mistaken idea that if you meet a woman at a bar or in a club, then she's not going to be good relationship material. But as you can see from the study on the screen here by the Marriage Foundation, you're 4 times more likely to divorce within 3 years if you meet a woman online. If you meet at school or university, it's 8% within 3 years. If you meet at work, it's 6%. But if you look all the way to the right, after 10 years of being married to someone that you work with or that you met at work, there's a 24% chance that you're going to be divorced. So there is a mistaken assumption from some men that if you meet a woman at a bar or club, then she's going to be horrible relationship material. But when you actually look into the data, meeting a woman through family or friends or at a bar or club means that statistically you have a much higher chance of keeping a relationship together. Additionally, when it comes to bars and clubs, the majority of women there are single, and they're either looking for a lover, boyfriend, or husband, but they won't act like they're looking for a husband or looking for a boyfriend. Instead, they will act as though they are there to have a good time, to hang out with friends, to dance, or to just socialize or let their hair down, and so on. Now, if you go out and approach women during the day at a shopping mall or on the street or something like that, it can be anywhere from 50 to 70% of the time that you talk to women, they already have a boyfriend. Yet sometimes you'll walk up to one woman or 3 women in a row and they won't have a boyfriend. They'll all be single, but if you want the highest chance ever of them being single, then it's speed dating. And the second highest is at a bar or club. In both of those environments, if you want to get results, you simply need to be able to display the kind of behavioral and emotional traits that trigger attraction inside of women. In bars and clubs, there are always opportunities to attract women who don't require a man to be a tall, handsome model and instead just want to be able to meet a guy who can make them feel attracted, who can give them the kind of feeling that they're looking for. So, for example, rather than walking up to a woman and displaying nervousness and insecurity and self-doubt, which is not going to make the woman feel attracted because women aren't looking for those traits in a man, you display confidence. You display what I call emotional masculinity or masculine charm. And if you're displaying traits like that, or you're using flirting or humor that makes women feel attracted, and the type of humor that I teach is playfully challenging humor, then women are going to feel attracted to you, right? They're in that situation hoping to meet a guy that is going to make them feel attracted. And when they do feel attracted to you, they open up. They are enjoying it. They want to feel that feeling of attraction. They want to keep that going. And a guy doesn't need to be a tall, handsome man with huge muscles in order to attract a woman in a bar or a nightclub. He simply needs to know how to display attractive traits and shoot his shot. Now, it doesn't mean that he's going to be able to pick up every woman in the world, but if a man goes out and interacts with women and displays attractive traits, he will get results because women are looking to feel attracted to you. That's what they want to feel, and they're looking for a potential lover, boyfriend, or husband who's going to make them feel that way. So the thing is, if you want to be able to get a girlfriend or get laid, but you're worried when you look at women that they may have a boyfriend, then just understand that you're never ever going to be able to find out if they have a boyfriend or not unless you talk to them, right? There's no secret understanding, like a secret wink or something like that. You just have to be able to go over and talk to her. Because in some cases, women will give you absolutely cold, disinterested body language where you look at them and they look at you like you're air, you're nothing, or like they don't even see you, you don't even exist. But when you go over and talk to them and you make them feel attracted, then they light up and they're interested in you. But if they have a boyfriend, what usually happens is that they're just flattered that you came over and talked to them anyway, and they're not annoyed because you're making them feel attracted. You're not a guy who's coming over and turning them off with a extra nice guy act, right? Putting on an act to be extra nice to hopefully be liked, or sucking up to the women, putting them on a pedestal, or being really nervous and insecure around them. You're going over being confident, you're using what I call masculine charm, or you're using flirting, or you're using playfully challenging humor, or you're being assertive, or you're displaying emotional masculinity. As long as you're displaying some attractive traits, women are going to have the reaction of attraction, because attraction is an automatic reaction to attractive traits. So when you display attractive traits, it's not as if women can stop themselves from feeling attracted. It's an automatic reaction, right? They begin to feel attracted as they're interacting with you. And that's why guys who don't look like a handsome model or aren't a tall, handsome, muscular man are able to attract and hook up with women and get themselves a girlfriend.